Hi, my name is Saulo. I'm a co-founder and director of NGNY, or our full name being Nakanyagu, and we're here in Hong Kong at the Leaf East Conference for 2026. So the delegation that I put together are 5 First Nations technologists from, I guess, people that I've met throughout my career over the last sort of 10 years of NGNY. We've put together a great delegation, I think, that really encompass multiple facets of what is happening across our Indigenous technology sector. So my motivation to come to Leaf East was a little bit selfish. I wanted to go overseas to a tech conference. But once I got into it and the opportunity that arose with the DFAT First Nations Fellowship Grant was to really put together a diverse group of people to come out and attend an international conference in an environment that allowed us to, share our own stories and share our own knowledge, but most importantly, to absorb what's happening across Asia and, well, generally across the globe. It's really important for Bob to be in these spaces internationally because we need to be out here absorbing what's happening globally so that we can take those learnings and we can take those insights and apply them back into our own spaces, not to shape entirely the directions that we've already sort of settled into and what we're doing, but to learn from the lessons that are already happening globally and make sure that we're on trend and we're on that cusp of innovation. It's funny when people ask me, why I work in tech, because I don't really feel like I work in tech. I think where I really work is in this human-centered sort of space. I come from a background, as we all do as, Indigenous people, of where our community, our family, our culture, our history is so important. And I think this idea of working in tech I don't feel like it applies to me in that core sense of being, a developer or, an AI, leader or anything along those lines. My motivation isn't necessarily driven around the tech side of things. That is just a catalyst. We exist in a world where if you're not operating in a technology mindset, we're not operating in a global space. And I think that that's really where I sit. I'm across and interested in tech and in innovation because it has a great potential to impact ourselves and our communities in a positive way and ensure that we continue to remain as a people and our culture continues to remain in a space. Being in and around these global tech giants, as, someone who grew up in Tamworth, who's, we run and operate a small Indigenous business, and being able to be in these spaces is, it's fantastic. Mainly because, I never really thought that I'd have the opportunity to be here. And I think being here just lets me know that there's no reason why I shouldn't be here. We should be able to be in these spaces and participate and have contribution regardless of what our background may be. And I think that's what really drives home for me, being in these spaces and around what, there's wealth here, there's technology, there's innovation, there's countries that are here at this conference that are literally shaping the globe. And we're here in gold, participating and conversing in the same spaces. So yeah, I really hope that everybody on this trip and the delegates come away from their time in Hong Kong with a renewed perspective on their own ambition. If we can move the bar or we can move the vision higher, further afield, and have that goals of reaching further and not having that restraint that we may feel where we live and where we're from, then that's really what I hope that each delegate goes home with.